This is a get ready with me video. I am getting ready to go out. I never really go anywhere, and kind of rushing. I have less than an hour to get ready, so this is my first get ready with me. So I'm using primer. I use anti-wrinkle even though I am too young to be having wrinkles, but I do have smile lines. So I'm gonna put that. I already washed my face and everything. Today's video discussion is it's just kind of like a girl chat, but I was on Reddit this morning and there was a video title. You have to be careful with Reddit because people just like to post things anywhere online just for attention. But apparently this it was into the trad life. And if you ever heard of trad wife, I've never really jumped into that sphere or whatever. But apparently the trad wife people, they are pretty much, they stay at home and they film themselves doing housewife duties while their husband's at work, and they make content out of it. And I feel like it's been hijacked. I'm going to be using this concealer. I feel like they have been hijacking the community. I don't even know if I should use any type of blush or fingers. I'm not a makeup artist, just trying to make myself look good. Sometimes when you're on camera, you forget how to do your makeup. I'm gonna use the beauty blender. So yeah, pretty much, I guess my gripe about it is that a lot of these trad wives a lot of these women are young. They're in their 20s and they dedicate their lives to these men. Some of these men are not obviously worth it because they are either not godly, they're abusive, they are misogynistic, and they just hate women. But these men, these women are in their 20s and they dedicate their good years to these men who probably don't deserve it. And sometimes it ends up in the men leaving them because they're now at a certain age where I guess these men don't find them attractive anymore. And so the title of the Reddit thread was Trad Wife Woman Leaves Their, Gets Dumped by Husband After 35. So it made me think like about trad wife and how problematic it is and how it's not really godly based. A partnership should be basically equal. It's not about what I get out of this or what I get out of, oh, I'm gonna be a trad wife so I can have a house and I can have money and I can have cars. Meanwhile, you're kind of working like a slave because you think this is an equal partnership, but in reality, it's not, because he gets to go home and do whatever he wants to do while you are working pretty much from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. You wake up in the morning, you're feeding, you're doing the breakfast, doing the chores, you're paying the bills, you're organizing the schedule. You're doing all these things all day long. He comes back home, he gets to rest, he gets to relax, but you're out there making the dinner, making sure everything's good, cleaning up the house. You're doing this all day till they wake up, till they go back to bed, and he gets to take a break. So it is very interesting, and I don't believe it's equal. As a Christian woman, I have been thinking about what does it look like to be a good wife, a godly wife. Definitely you submit yourselves to that person, but I think a lot of people don't understand the word submission. I think that they believe submission is pretty much, um, you submit to someone who's abusive. You let them abuse you. You let them talk down to you. You let them disrespect you. And because you're married and you made that vow before God, you're supposed to be in that relationship. And that's just not the case. If you are in a relationship, it should be equal. You submit to your husband, but your husband submits to you as he submits to church. You know, the way a husband is supposed to treat their wife, they're supposed to leave their mother and father, cling to their wife, and they're also supposed to submit as Jesus submitted to the church. Jesus defended the church. He didn't let anyone disrespect the church. He didn't disrespect the church. So it's not an abusive situation. And that man that you're submitting to should be godly. He should be prayerful. He should be praying for you. He should be rooting for you. He should be supporting you, not trying to, have your downfall or get jealous of you or anything like that. He should be supportive. And so a lot of um, these trad wives, they're dedicating themselves to men who pretty much don't like women, kind of abusive, and it doesn't work out. Some of these people are not even submitting to their husbands; they're submitting to their boyfriends. But like, there's this live-in girlfriend trend that was going on TikTok and other realms of social media, and it was very weird. It was very strange. It didn't make any sense. Because these men obviously are not godly. They're not. They don't know what. They don't know how to fear God. They don't even know how to be in a relationship or lead anyone. Yet you're submitting yourself to someone who's not necessarily leading you in the right direction. So, but in terms of the article or whatever, I didn't read the article. I read the comments, and apparently she was the one that left. That not the other way around. She left the relationship because she was tired of being a trad wife and I guess the issues or the problems, but it's like, what is it about the trad wife that gets women one and still interested into it? Because a lot of women back then had no choice but to be a trad wife. That is what they had to do, but it was still a lot of work. It's not for the lazy. It's not for the weak. And people think if you don't have a 9 to 5, if you're not a career woman, that you don't necessarily need to do anything, and that's just not the case. you know People do end up having to work a lot more as a stay-at-home wife, and it's a thankless job. People don't stop and thank the woman that's raising their kids and supporting their husband at home. And I think for the reason why I think it's popular is because a lot of women, they want a man. They just want a man, and they want to be picked. So they try to make themselves look like, okay, what do these men want? And these men are not godly men. They hate women, but they use the feminist movement, they use all these movements to say, hey, see, that's why we don't like y'all. That's why we don't treat y'all well, because y'all not as submissive. But they're not being leaders. They don't know what submissive means. Submissive is not abusive. So these women, they get desperate because they don't know, they don't have the love, they don't want the love of God that is enough. Paul said it's better to be single because marriage is a distraction. When you're single, you can care about God more, and what His will is. But when you're married, you're caring of the world. You have the cares of the world, and not necessarily the cares of God. So when you're single, you're more focused, and that's kind of why he was saying that it's better to be single. But you have these women who are just not going to listen to that. They desperately want a man. So, and maybe they're just not happy. They tried the career route. They tried, you know, and they think, okay, let me just do this trad wife stuff. And that doesn't work either. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be about the Lord, not about um, your feelings, which are ever fleeting. It should be about the Lord, and it should be about what the Lord thinks and what He wants for you in this season. And that will make you a great wife. But you have to submit to God first, and not just any man, because you need a godly man. You can't just submit to anyone. And a lot of women don't want to wait. They don't want to wait because they're lonely, they're tired, they're frustrated, and I understand that aspect. But it's better to wait than to be divorced multiple times because you didn't wait. You didn't wait on God to answer you. A lot of these men are not worth submitting to because they're not godly. They're not going to lead you to the right path. There was a story of a woman who was with an NFL player, and she kept emphasizing that he was godly. But why would a godly man want to be with why would a godly man have premarital sex and impregnate you and you're not married? And then when it comes to getting married, it's crickets, and he becomes abusive to the point where now you and your baby are not in a safe place. None of that was godly in her story, but she said because he told her, I'm a godly man, she just believed it. And the only way you can get wisdom on things like that is by reading the Bible. The Bible will tell you what a godly man is. The Bible will tell you what a godly woman is. And you don't have to hear people lie and tell you, oh, this is a godly man, this is a God. No, you will already know because you have the wisdom from God. King Solomon, one of the richest, wealthiest, I mean, he had a lot of wives he probably shouldn't have. That was not a good thing. But he was a very successful person. What was the thing he asked God for? Wisdom. Wisdom is going to help you in life when it comes to finding a mate, when it comes to submission to a husband, submission to a wife. It's going to be the one. You cannot listen to people. You can't listen to social media. You can't listen to even me. Listen to God. Listen to the Bible. That is what's going to tell you who is worthy. None of these random trends of, oh, trad wife this and that and living girlfriend and, all these nonsense. Like, the Bible, it has been in this world thousands of years, okay? It's been in this world thousands of years. It's tried and true, and it's the only thing that's going to tell you what is real and what is not real. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that's going to tell you what is real and what's not real. Nothing else can tell you who is what is that. And also another thing is, if you want wisdom too, older women will give you wisdom. Older women will give you wisdom. I was at a trivia event, and I just happened to stumble with some people. And hello to those who are on the live. Sorry, no, I'm not trying to ignore. I know some people are dropping off and on. But I was at an event. I was at a trivia event, and I was talking about this. I just met these random women. They're in their 40s. They're older than me, and they had been divorced, or one of them was divorced, and they were giving me advice about a man I was talking to at the time, and they're pretty much just telling me, like, girl, don't do it, like, it's not worth it. um you know they just want that one thing. They're not that interested. And I kept thinking to myself, well, maybe they're just bitter, you know maybe it happens to them but not me. I was a little prideful, I'm not gonna lie. But it turned out they were right. And the Bible tells us to listen to older women because they've lived life. They've lived life and they know what they're talking about. And they can help you when it comes to decision making. It's also good that if you are in a relationship, have wise counsel and make sure that he has wise counsel as well. Because if he's not getting any advice, any wisdom, how is he going? What is he going to do when problems happen? Does he have a counselor? Does he have a pastor? Does he have an uncle or dad or someone that can counsel him? If he's just doing it by himself, it's not going to work. And the same thing with women. Like, do you have a counselor? Do you have someone? And that's something I've been trying to get myself, is godly counsel, godly community, because those are the people that are going to tell you if this person's the one. So, yeah, I think the problem is that we try too hard to go and jump on these trends of trad wife and this and that, and we don't know what they mean. We don't know. And then at a certain age, even though it was implied that he dumped her because of her age, but really she just got sick of it. But regardless, of a certain age, you just know better. You just don't want to deal with nonsense. You want your worth to be, you want to matter. And you're not just a body or a vessel or a nurse or a mother or this or that. You're a human being. You're multifaceted, and so you have different things, different wants in life, and you have to adjust to them as you get older. And that's why they're trends, because they don't last. There's going to be another trend that people will follow. So that's why you just have to chase the Lord, because the Lord is going to be the one to tell you what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. So I don't know what I'm doing with my makeup. I'm kind of just like all over the place. My eyebrows, I haven't gotten my eyebrows waxed in years. I have not gotten my eyebrows waxed. There is nothing really wrong with it, but as you guys know, I went. These are my nails. I did them myself. They're just put them on here. And the reason why I haven't gone to a salon is because I had the bone marrow transplant, and so I was always cautious because those types of salons, they have a lot of germs. And there's a story of a woman who also had sickle cell. She was on YouTube as well, and she did the bone marrow transplant, but she got her nails done. And I'm not sure when exactly she got her nails done, but she passed away shortly after at contacting some sort of bacterial infection. And even though it's been several years, I don't want to say several, it's been 3 years now since I had the bone marrow transplant, I'm still pretty cautious. I don't want to like go to these types of places where you don't know what they're doing. You don't know how they're cleaning them, their tools and stuff. So I try my best to not do these types of stuff. I try to do my own stuff, and even like my nails, I did my toes, I did my nails. I just do them myself. It's cheaper and also more cleaner, more hygienic, because some of these salons, the ones that you just drop by, they use a lot of they don't really clean well, and sometimes bacterial infections can go in there, and it's not like you will die from it, although some people have lost fingers and toes. It just means that you might get sick. um but if that's what you want to do, is I couldn't risk it personally. I'm not sure. I'm sure now I'm okay with going. But I still don't want to risk it. I just wanna. My eyebrows are like, it's always a hit or miss though. That's why I do miss going to the salon, because I always know how to do it. I always grew up with like Raven Simone's eyebrows, and I love Raven Simone. She's a beautiful woman, but I just, what I'm talking about when I say Raven Simone eyebrows. So I do like it when someone can do it themselves or do it for me, because right now it looks kind of weird. But hopefully my hair will hide it. I don't know if I should wear, I don't want to put too much makeup on, but I don't know if I should wear some eyeshadow. I don't know what the time is now. It is 1:12. Okay. I have a little bit of time left. Thankfully I started. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't want to do anything weird with my makeup. I've never did eyeshadow when I was younger because I wasn't the best at it. But when I was younger, because of the sickle cell, I had jaundice eyes. So uh, I never wore eyeshadow because I didn't want to draw attention to the eyes. Um, I would always look away or look down because I didn't want anyone to know. And people wouldn't always say any stuff. Like sometimes people wouldn't, when you see someone that's different, it really depends. It can go either way. Some people will stare, some people will look all away, some people would, pretend they didn't see anything. And then some people just, some people, I don't know, just depends. It really just depends. I don't know what color to wear. I don't know. I might need to put some beauty blend down here. So it's a little, not so weird. I don't know what to wear. I'm wearing flowers, so maybe I'll put this on. I've tried to look at tutorials to see how people wear eyeshadow. Even if it wasn't for the jaundice, I still don't understand. I feel like whenever people, like I would always try, even though I was a little subconscious, and I always was like, how do people do this? And then I kind of learned, someone taught me how to do it. And I thought I knew how, and I still didn't know what I was doing. I know that people typically blend. I kind of forgot which colors I was using. I just know to put concealer because that makes it pop a lot more. This live is going a lot longer than I thought. I thought I could talk about that topic for a long time, but I didn't even read the article. I just thought it was very interesting because I feel like tradwife stuff gets lumped in with Christianity, but a lot of their beliefs are not Christian because a lot of them get with men that are not godly and that don't really value marriage, so their marriage or relationship falls apart because of that. I'm just trying not to look like a clown. I don't know. The eyeshadow is really good though, but yeah, I don't want to look like a clown. I like this palette. It's one of the most high-rated palettes, Anastasia Beverly Hills, because it's very natural. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just mixing eyeshadows together. I'm praying that it works. I also feel like maybe my makeup is outdated because the last time I saw a tutorial was from like 2016, and that's like 10 years ago, so. But I'm just doing what I what I remember. Praying that it doesn't look terrible. Okay, I actually like it. I'm gonna clean it up a bit, but this looks not bad. I need mascara. I used to have, I need eyeliner, but I don't know where I put it. Hello guys. I don't know where I put my eyeliner. That's the beauty of going live. I don't know where my eyeliner is. Well, I don't know where my eyeliner is. Let me go ahead and put some mascara. I'm gonna have to blend the eyeshadow a little bit more. This is the type of mascara you cannot wipe. It's not waterproof, but it's one of the best mascaras out there. I don't feel like wearing lashes because I always feel like it's a bit much, but we'll see how I feel. I want to get my lashes done, that's for sure. That would be great. Definitely need to blend my eyeshadow a bit more. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little interesting. So here. Some kids. I might just put some lashes. Why not? Okay. Just put two on there. I don't want some mascara to blend it in. One of them is coming off. This is not the right brush to use. I only have one lip gloss. I need to buy more. I need to sharpen this one. This one's not in. I don't know if it's gonna go. I feel like I might have put too much on my face. Okay. Yeah. It's 1:30. Gotta get my ass out of here. Excuse my cursing. Okay. So that's it, guys. I don't know if this camera works while I have it at a weird angle, but this is the finished look. My hair finally looks decent. You guys have seen my other lives, it has not. Wow, my hair finally looks somewhat decent. Okay guys, so that's it. See you guys